to Arise Entertainment 360. To all the reggae fans out there, our next guests need no introduction.
That's right, they're one of the most popular Grammy-winning and currently Grammy-nominated reggae groups on the planet. Morgan Heritage, welcome to the show.
Arise!
Oh, you say it now. Okay, I feel like the first thing we've got to ask is Wagwan.
Yeah, that's good.
Everything.
Everything, Chris? Now, we have to start with the roll call.
Oh, yes.
Who's who?
I'm Mr. Mojo.
Oh, all right, Mr. Mojo.
Peter.
Peter?
Grams.
Grams.
Play on
I like that. And you
Yeah.
actually are all brothers.
Yes,
All
yeah,
of-
all brothers.
Okay, so who's older, who's younger?
I'm the oldest in the band.
Oh,
In
that's
the
why you get
band,
Gramps.
Band.
but not
But
out of the
there's
29
more.
kids that your father has.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yes.
29 children?
African style.
Hey, all right now.
But did y'all all live in one house?
In one house.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But there was always
Yeah.
a child going to college, graduate.
No,
How many
still,
kids
you
can you
can't.
send to college
Yeah,
at the same time?
One goes off to college, another one's being born.
Wow.
So y'all like had like 10 in each bed? Is that what?
No.
It's
We
We
stacked
had a lot
up?
of bunk beds, I tell you.
Right.
It was a really big house, you know, that our dad, when he moved to America, secured for us in New York and then
Nice.
in Springfield, Massachusetts, where we got our education.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is impressive.
Oh.
Yeah.
So your
Okay.
new album is called Abracadabra.
Yes.
Very well.
So thank you very much. So we just have to highlight that, not abracadabra, Abra.
At the V.
What does that mean?
Abracadabra, it just means like we create what we speak. You know, bringing into manifestation what we envision within ourselves. You know what I
Love
mean?
it.
So it's
Look
of
at that album
ancient
cover.
origin. So
Pretty.
we like the ancients.
Clearly, look at the colors on there. Very royal.
Beautiful. Yes, very royal.
Matches your lipstick, too.
Okay.
Okay. She's royal. Hello.
Yes.
Well, the album is nominated for a Grammy. Congratulations.
Yes. Congrats.
Congratulations. How
But
does
it's not
it-
your first.
Yeah, of course. Not the first. That's old for them.
You know.
But how does it feel still to be nominated yet again?
It's a beauty, man. It's a joy. You don't necessarily ask every musician and every actor that, you know, that says, even Ruben, you know, we don't do it really for the awards, but it's gratifying when you do get recognized and say, hey, that was great work, you know? So to be nominated for our first time ever and put the album out on our own record label and then win and then come back again a year later and get nominated again, that's a victory in itself. So it's very humbling.
Wow.
Big up the Recording Academy.
Now, do you guys have any idea of who's going to say what during the speech? The
It does come
acceptance speech
natural.
That you're obviously going to take home?
Peter's a great talker. He's amazing when it comes to talking, but we really just talk from our hearts, you know? It's not really, I mean, you don't have much time. What can you really write for a minute?
Yeah.
But you know, you have to thank the Lord. You know, you have to thank...
You can't thank everyone in your family.
you can't
else
talk
they will-
everybody. Not our family.
About 29 minutes.
Yeah. So, you know, you thank the record company, you thank the publicists, you thank, you know, management and everybody that worked on the album because you're speaking specifically about the album. So it comes naturally.
We got to back up a little bit. When you
Yes.
won your first Grammy, like what were you doing? Do you remember that moment when you heard that you guys were nominated?
feeling.
And then when you were
Yes,
sitting in the chair and they said your name, how did that feel?
Yeah.
Take us through that
It
process.
was, first of all, when we got the nomination, it was we were on a cruise, and we took a break from the cruise in Jamaica, and I think it was in the morning we were getting up for breakfast, and someone of us, I think it was Gramps or Luke, sent the message and says we got nominated, and it was just
Shocking.
everything just went haywire from there.
Right.
You know, and then moving on to the actual night of the event. I mean, we were just honored to be at the event. It wasn't something where we were going and say, yeah, we're going to win this. No. Just being nominated is a victory in itself. And then, you know, just being there, it's something that you never get used to. Even now, the second time being nominated, it feels like the whole thing over again. The whole thing's happening all over again. You're not used to this feeling. It's a joy, it's a blessing, it's a humbling feeling, and it's exciting.
It's interesting because I was going to ask you if that feeling ever gets old, but clearly no.
Never.
These are always
Every
going.
time it's almost, it feels like the first time.
Yeah.
When
I
it
mean,
comes
this is the Grammys, you know?
Yeah, it's
when
a
you
big
talk
deal.
about the Recording Academy, you're being recognized by the best in your industry. It's not normal people just voting like your fans.
Yeah.
These are the best songwriters, composers, producers
Artists.
that are scrutinizing your album and saying, how was the mixing? How was the recording? What kind of
Right.
guitar did you use? Who was the engineer, the arrangements, the lyrics? And then those are the best. When people watch the Grammys, those are not fans that are inside there. Those are musicians and songwriters that are in that building. And this thing sells out every year in less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
Wow.
And for this year, for it to be in New York, the
I
city of our
know.
birth,
Yeah.
you know, Brooklyn, you don't know.
Brooklyn massive.
Big up.
Treat like that.
Yeah, right?
You are good.
But speaking of
you.
Brooklyn, I know your dad lived in Brooklyn. He would bring y'all down a lot on the
Yes.
weekends. Y'all jam. What was it like growing up? Did you jam out with him? Because he's a big musician in his own
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, man, our inspiration started by seeing our dad do what he does.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And, you know, from there, it took on to us, and we became who we are through being inspired by him, first of all, and then other artists, of course. But, you know, doing it from Brooklyn, like you say, every weekend we'd come down from New England and come to Brooklyn every summer vacation, every Christmas holidays we'd spend in New York. Because we were born in Brooklyn, but we were raised between Springfield, Massachusetts, and Brooklyn, New York. So, you know, Massachusetts was for the education, Brooklyn was for the music.
I think the house was too
Brooklyn
full.
was
We had to
for the
get some of
vibe.
them houses. The kids out of the house. It's like, y'all go to
Some
Massachusetts.
of you go to Brooklyn, some of you stay in Massachusetts.
Spread the love.
Definitely.
Spread the love.
That he needed his, you know, band, the Black Eagles, to give us the tutelage to become who we are today. Because they
That's
were
smart.
one of the first reggae bands in Brooklyn to play original music. And
Original reggae.
as Peter said, original reggae music. So as Peter said, you know, kids that grow up and see their parents as doctors, policemen, lawyers, you aspire to be what your parents' profession is.
Yeah. And now your band started out with a larger group.
Yeah,
'Cause
man.
Your other
Yes.
siblings were
Originally, it
included
was,
too,
I
right?
think it was eight members.
Yeah.
8 members. Okay.
Originally, yeah.
What happened
And
to
then
the
over
other
the-
21?
Well, I mean, they were older. They're older siblings, you know,
So
and
have
life,
kids.
Right.
life happened to them a lot earlier than it happened to us.
Okay.
You know, so when they had to become responsible and they became parents, we were still young, you know, still in school. So, you know, we were the ones that carried it on, and, you know, they became cheerleaders for us.
Hey, like the rest of the world, we're all your fans.
Yeah.
But I had to ask you a question. So, as we know, President Donald Trump recently made some not great comments about Haiti and Africa. Now, you guys are of Jamaican descent, but you also have banging Nigerian accents.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've been to Nigeria and you like our jollof and pounded yam.
You mean?
Yes.
That's good, though.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So, what did you feel about these comments that he made?
It's one of those things where you wish it didn't happen and you try and understand it, but for us, you know, as citizens of the world, we love everywhere, you know. Our home in Africa is Kenya. Gramps love Ghana. So we don't really, you know, understand the motive behind it. So we hope he can clarify himself. I'm not here to judge him. We're just here to bring positive energy through the vehicle of music.
And we can say we love Africa.
Spoken like a true Rastafarian.
Yeah.
Spread love, not war.
There's parts of Africa that and that's why we are thankful for the platform of social media and
Yes.
television, because now people can see the true Africa.
Yes.
Because when I'm in Kenya, we balling.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm in Nigeria, they rolling.
You know.
You know, they got G500s, they got nice homes. So the Africa is a beautiful place. So I just think that he's not educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the end of the day, he has to answer for whatever comes out of his
Yeah.
mouth. You know what I mean? We're not here to judge people.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't want people to judge us, but they do. You know, and the world loves to judge, so it's just the way of the world and humanity. Some people just need to be educated.
Well, we're happy they judged you and are giving you Grammys.
Yeah.
And we want to see why when we come back from the break. We're going to have y'all perform a little something.
Yeah.
Bring Nate in. He'll
Yes,
play a little
sir.
guitar for us.
And then we're going to make
jam out.
Shannon dance.
Uh-oh.
You're going to teach him some Caribbean dance steps.
yeah.
Teach him the
Okay.
butterfly.
Uh-oh.
Not that one.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm getting scared, y'all. Stay tuned. We got more Rise 360 after the break. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I'm getting ready.
It's going to be so
Yes,
much
sir. Yes,
fun.
sir.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, what